out of my head.
I'm kind of existing in an intermediary place right now. My feelings are not too defined and it's somewhat bothersome. I feel like when you can't substantiate an opinion, it often means absolutely everything or absolutely nothing, so I'm trying to decipher my own thoughts, but no, things are also constantly morphing in my head. When the Girls Will Be Girls trailer came out, I was not looking forward to this comeback very much because I saw all of this hype for the trailer and I thought it was bad. I think there was hype mostly because people didn't expect effort and they should have expected more. It's certainly an interesting concept, your heart stopping beating and nothing will make it start again. I love absurdism, but they didn't use the absurdist playbook in a fun way. The theater of the absurd is known for its games. I think there should have been more games, like flipping a coin 96 times to get the same result every time. I also wish there were paradoxical relationships and jokes with actual added layers. The options on the sheet at the doctor should have been motifs, and they should have had callbacks in general. They could cut the rib conversation jokes and integrate ideas more naturally instead of shoehorning them in. The voiceover should have actually had some voice to it, like Ryujin is thinking a lot, not using her heart but her head instead. She could voice her actual problem because directness is not the devil, or she could make it clear she doesn't have the heart to. Admitting you have a problem is the first step. I think the trailer was kind of a mess and needed many more drafts, but what do we expect at this point? I think the music video is a more complicated situation, but only after careful consideration. I like the idea of Itzy and the apocalypse. I like the visuals. My problem is there are no creative setups. The only intrigue comes from intentional analysis and not narrative complexity. Every scene's setup is a trope instead of something actually coming out of left field. On the other hand, I think the tiny details that annoyed me actually build up some interesting ideas. Leah runs outside for no apparent reason. Ryujin takes the time to hug her instead of running for her life. Chaeryeong shoots one demon bird thing as if that actually accomplishes anything. Yuna and Yeji fuck up when the car not so originally breaks down. I think, and take this in the nicest way possible, these things are meant to be stupid. These are absurd limits that are actually kind of realistic. Girls will get crucified for doing the slightest thing wrong while in an essential apocalypse, but still make it through. Meanwhile, boys do terrible things in easy situations and we just brush it off. Boys will be boys. That's why I like this video, or why I liked it eventually. The song, though, I think sonically I'm somewhat underwhelmed, but lyrically I'm able to find enough meaning. They focus on pulling the trigger and where instead of the weapon itself. They are focused on living and as girls, not as humans with greater pressure. They speak in past tense, setting the scene. It's dark and they are implicated, but they are also giddy about it. They talk about ego and heroes, big, lofty ideas crucial to storytelling. There's a beginning, middle, and end that they slay throughout because girls will be girls and will persist. They enjoy the apocalypse together, but also throw away everything, just not you. They grip tight in letting go, using both hands in control. They are a syndrome but artful, creating out of nothing. They conflate screaming and singing. We all suffer but act pretty. It acts as both a rallying cry and a critique of how we dismiss female pain in favor of seeing and hearing more pretty things from them. Their sirens echo throughout the world like the shot heard around the world, but distinctly as a warning, not violence. They also call reality a blackout all the way downtown to the city, losing power through an extensive portion but surviving. There is a lot here that I really enjoy, but I wish there was a bigger impact, at least at the end of the song. It does feel unfinished. Overall, I enjoy this comeback. I have seen a lot of mixed opinions. I think it is a step in the right direction, but I truly would like to see JYP put their full energy into something. It still feels like they don't want to waste their time on something that won't necessarily make a huge profit, but they're fighting an uphill battle and have something to prove, unfortunately. That's not to say I think Itzy makes bad music. That's to say hype is like a mythical creature, and you're not finding Mew most of the time if you send Jessie, James, and Meowth. You might stumble upon what you're looking for by accident, but it doesn't hurt to set yourself up for success a little. But that also doesn't mean just give people stuff to show you did it. Actually create, delegate enough resources, but your brain is your most helpful tool. That's my 2 cents, but also, who am I? I'm just a girl being a girl. That's stupid. I'll see you soon.